I'll probably make this one quick for y'all. I'm probably not going to load this up on the podcast or whatnot. Podcast audio. I'm just going to leave the audio for whatever it is. Now, if you guys look into like the community board, the post, feel free to comment, negative, positive, whatever it may be, whatever's on your mind. I put these posts up to let you guys know what's going to be coming up alongside the digital journals. The digital journals are pretty much digital posts. Might have something on my mind, might have some things, some upcoming information or some news. Now, there was something that caught my eye. I'm an archivist. If I screenshot, if I see some information, if I see anything that I find to be interesting, I'll screenshot it so I can have some receipts. There's something that I saw that was very interesting, and I wanted to show you guys this. This right here was from Breitbart. Now, Breitbart, if y'all don't remember, the editor was this guy named Steve Bannon, huge Trump supporter, heavy right wing. And they're one of these so-called anti-DEI, anti-woke. They don't necessarily say anti-black, but Breitbart would be the equivalent to like maybe a, like kind of a turning point, heavy conservative, one of those these woke, the DEI and all that. And I'm not a fan of, you guys know I'm not a fan of the action of DEI. If the concept was just and it supported who it's really supposed to be for, then I would, but it's not. But I made this post because I seen this before, and I thought this was very interesting. Now, this is from the suspected race social media itself, and they were saying through a survey that 34% of white college applicants fake minority status. So when we start talking about DEI, this is DEI literally in your face. They're admitting it. Who it truly really benefited. Now, this is one of the media sources that attack DEI all the time. But when the benefits come out, who's reaping it? You see what I'm saying? Therefore, it's null and void for black folk. It's null and void. Now, furthermore, I found something that was really troubling. And this is the post, and I'm going to explain what I said. I said I'm going to use some choice words on the information that I just found, but so be it. This is further proof that we have a serious lawyer issue in the United States of America because most of our black lawyers are 100% trash. Now, DP, why would you say that? Let me get it back on my face so y'all can see my facial expressions. DP, why would you make that statement? Because I went on GPT, my damn self, and I wanted to know, without doing something, and I know ChatGPT is a basic, it's conceptual, it's draft. It does what you ask it to do. But I said, okay, you have the NAACP, you got the Congressional Black Caucus, all these Boule Negroes, you have all of this. And they're always flaunting their degrees and their titles, and they dancing in church, and they doing all this, doing all that, and it's a big show, and it's a big giant plantation jubilee. And I said, well, wait a minute. We got a lot of lawyers here. They flaunt they flaunt everything. Everything's a party and a show and a chicken Negro spiritual cookout every 5 minutes. It's about bragging. And I said, y'all got them degrees. Y'all are lawyers. You took the bar. then why the F ain't you Negroes passing no federal lawsuit drafts? You didn't even create it. One of the people that they're really putting out here that I thought was very instrumental, that are now comparing Black Americans to immigrants, which I thought was sick and demonic, was the simple fact you got this loudmouth, dry wig hood rat popping her lips and cursing and acting a damn fool. And I said, well, ain't she a lawyer? Let me just double check so I'm just not talking. But you know some lawyers. Public defender, Bowsey County, Texas. Previously practiced in a private law firm. Attended the University of Houston Law Center, graduated in 2006 with a Juris Doctor. Member of the National Bar Association of the Dallas Black Criminal Bar Association. And I said, you know what? That's why I said what I said. I said, these plantation bootlicking bastards, you sorry SOBs, how dare you? Y'all ain't passed, y'all ain't created a federal draft lawsuit for reparations. And my black ass got on Chat GPT and did it in 30 seconds. Look at this shit. Let me show y'all what I did. Look at this. I said, create a 5-page preparatory reparations federal lawsuit to be filed in the court for Black Americans. Now, they said the federal lawsuit is a complex and sensitive legal undertaking. But here's a draft of a preparatory 5-page federal complaint suitable for filing in U.S. District Court. Chat GPT just don't be making stuff up. Now, they said this is a template. I understood that. I'm not a lawyer, so I really don't know. But it says for any real-world filing, it's strongly advised that a licensed attorney experienced in constitutional and civil rights laws. Now, we already have federally designated wording, because remember, we can't use race. You can't say black, you can't say African. It's got to be freedom. Because remember the Fearless Fund, they couldn't use it. Well, we're already federally designated. We have history directly tied to this land. And I said, okay, that's simple. I got paperwork for days. I trace all my stuff back to the 1700s. I said, okay. So y'all got all these law degrees for what? And when you look at this, what really pissed me off is when I went in here and looked, prayer for relief. Now, we don't need no National Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but that was just something that they said. Cancellation of federal student loans, investment in Black communities, direct monetary compensation, that's reparations. Now, this is what I noticed that it said. Despite multiple government acknowledgments of harms of slavery, HR 40, which is a waste of damn time, there's no direct compensation that has been issued. Count 1, violation of the 5th Amendment, due process and taking. Count 2, violation of the 13th Amendment. So, ChatGPT showed all of this. ChatGPT, and then it gave me a download. This is what really made my blood boil, y'all. I'm going to show y'all what really made my blood boil. Let me go ahead and pull it up. This bothered me. And we're talking that this is AI, y'all. As much as I gripe and bellyache about how AI ain't good, look at this. All right, hold on. I'm going to take this off for a second so I can put in my little password. Yeah, this did it. Oh, okay, so it wants me to open up a code. Okay, because I opened it up somewhere else. All right, hold on. Get my code, y'all. Get my code. All right. Okay, that didn't work. 396729. All right. February, January. It's got a bunch of stuff. Okay. Beating. Okay. Let me do this a different way. Let me see if I can find this. Let me do this a different way. Because I did it on my phone. I just want to see. I said, let me just check and see. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I know where it's at. I know where it's at, y'all. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Y'all can see this for yourself. Try to keep your blood pressure down. But this might kind of rub y'all the wrong way after you see this. Because if you see this draft, which is just a template, it's just a template, y'all. It's a template. But if you look at this draft, here, enslaved Black Americans through federal reparations, the legacy of slavery followed by Jim Crow laws. Because remember, it was the feds, it was the U.S. government that okayed all of this. They were instrumental in every single fabric and layer of it. The lawsuit demands recognition and redress for those harms under the United States Constitution, federal statutes, including the Civil Rights Act, international human rights principles. They gave 28 USC. They said venue is proper in the district under 28 USC 1391 because a substantial part of the events giving rise to this action occurred here and because federal injury and policy affects Black Americans nationally. The parties, descendants of enslaved Black Americans forcibly brought to the United States, subjected to state-sanctioned system of chattel slavery and racial subjugation. They are citizens of the United States and residents of insert state. Right? Defendant. The U.S. is a sovereign government that historically codified and enforced slavery and post-emancipation discriminatory practice through legislative, executive, and judicial actions. Let me tell y'all something. I don't want to hear nothing about no long time ago. I don't want to hear nothing about, well, you need to go back to Africa, figure it all out, and that ain't got nothing to do, and oh, well, you Africans, some of the Africans sold y'all. I don't want to hear none of that. Factual allegations. This ain't DP talking, y'all. This is Chat GPT. This is artificial intelligence. From 1619 to 1865, millions of Africans and their descendants were enslaved in what became the U.S. Therefore, we built it. This system was maintained with full support of federal and state governments. After the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery except as punishment for a crime, we were subject to state-sponsored discrimination through black codes, Then look, here's the count 1, violation of 5th Amendment. Count 2, violation of 13th Amendment. Count 3, violation of international human rights laws. Defendants' actions and inaction violate international treaties ratified by the U.S. So the U.S. is actually violating their own laws. You got judges out here that will never free a black man that's freeing folks that ain't even supposed to be on this soil. Prayer for relief. Here's the date. This is the draft. Let me tell y'all something. This is from artificial intelligence. Something that I rally hell against because of some of the things that it made, like if you look at the agility report, a lot of the things that don't work well for us. I did this in 30 seconds. I didn't come up with this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to say this and I stand on it. I mean it in every damn way. Them boot licking, tap dancing, step infection, Bojangles, plantation, buck dancing, bed wench ass niggas in the Congressional Black Caucus and all these other so-called black organizations. When you start hearing some of these Negroes speak, we need to start showing them stuff like this and telling them, you, with all your lawyers degrees and your sororities and all your big Cadillacs and your chicken dinners on Sunday and your brunches and your Easters and your damn data and your little rock thing, all of that bullshit is all off cast aside. All of that needs, folks need to be hunting y'all down in the dark saying, hey, sign this shit, nigga. That's what they do with other cultures. Sign this shit. Get this drafted. We don't really want to hear no excuses. I did this in 30 seconds. And then after we get a check over here, we go over to the UK. Cut the check for Africans. We get our redress. That this is conceptual. All right. Okay. Papua New Guinea. We're all the black. Cut the check. Germany, you've been cutting the check a while. Cut it over there for the Shark Island. Cut that check. This right here, there's no excuse why they could have at least drafted it. Not HR 40. I'm talking about something. This is Chat GPT. I shouldn't have to do this shit. I'm an IT tech. I shouldn't have to be up here on a damn StreamYard showing y'all that y'all could come up with a federal lawsuit template / draft. So I don't want to hear nothing about what a black lawyer can't do. I don't. If they can't do this, and if they have a file, how much does it cost? Let's look that up. Let me go to Chat GPT, brother chat for that. How much does it cost to file a federal lawsuit? Ain't this a bitch? I gotta calm down. Y'all look at this shit, man. And I've had friends and family members to tell me that I need to stay off these niggas' necks. We all black, don't say nothing to them. Y'all niggas kiss my ass. Look at this shit. Y'all kiss my black ass. Civil filing fee is $405. And it's just giving a basic blueprint. Service of process, $50 to $100 per defendant. Attorney fees, $150 to $700 an hour, $5,000 to $100,000. Expert witnesses, $2,000 to $10,000 per expert. Dispositions and transcripts. Now there's court reporter fees, copy and travel, fee waivers. Y'all seen when I did the Zoom, 100,000 idiots donated billions to collard greens to miss 20 acres of the mule. Y'all couldn't have put no bread up for this. I'm telling y'all, this is undeniable. This is unrefutable. You can't fight me on this. This is from the AI that I so-called hate. This is from brother chat. This is from Chat GPT. Just a basic template. And you're telling me these Negroes can't do this? We got all these black lawyers. Them niggas ain't shit. I said it. I mean it. They ain't shit. Because they should have been did this. They should at least tried. They should at least tried. So I'm just letting y'all know what you can do with Chat GPT. You can this wrapped up this. Do you know that this wrapped it up in a little pack? I didn't do this. I didn't do this, y'all. Look at this. I did not do this. Federal reparations lawsuit template. I did not do this. Chat GPT did this. It asked me, do you want an export of a federal lawsuit? You can't fight me on this. You can't say that I'm saying anything that's wrong. I want y'all to, if I'm wrong, I want y'all to put in the comments where I'm false. You may not like the way it was delivered. Show me where I'm false. Show me where they couldn't have done this. With their Cadillacs and their nice suits and their boule and their little thetas and their all their little Greek. Them niggas didn't even look. Them Negroes didn't even picking. They could have picked some kind of they could have picked the African culture or something like that. They picked Greeks. These Negroes picked Greeks. They pledged to the Greeks. And we're supposed to look at them as they some divine nine and all. Man, get them niggas up out of here. Get their ass up out of here. You crazy as hell. They pledged to the Greeks, Zeus and all that. You pledged to Rome, Negro. And we're supposed to take information from them. We're supposed to look at them as if they're the higher Negro, the intellectual Negro that's gonna bring us into the promised land. 30 seconds, y'all. This is pathetic. This is truly pathetic. I've never seen anything more pathetic. I done got all the law, the count one. I mean, man, it's crazy. I didn't know that Chat GPT could go this deep. Didn't think they could do that. When it pulled up and it was breaking down, especially when I got down to the bottom and it shows the causes of action and it used these different terms. And when I seen something where it says E, it's prayer for relief. I said those are real lawyer terms. Certified as action as class action under Rule 23 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. I don't know what that stuff is. It says B, declare that the U.S. has violated the Constitution and human. Dr. Claude Anderson and Amos been fighting for this shit for years. Order the creation of a federally funded reparation program, including but not limited to direct monetary compensation, investment in black communities, cancellation of federal loan debt, creation of National Truth and Reconciliation Commission. They tried that back home. Willie Mandela, she wasn't having it. The hell with the Truth and Reconciliation. Kiss my ass, cut the check. I don't want to hear about the truth. We already know the truth. We don't need that. Award attorney fees and costs. Y'all pay for it. Grant such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. Respectfully submit. Unbelievable. I don't think I've seen anything more despicable in my life in the last 10 years of my life. Just looking at when they was talking about HR 40 and all this, when I seen that part about order the creation of a federally funded reparation program, including but not limited to, when I got to that part, my heart dropped. I was just like, man, we're surrounded by the Sambo class, the bootlick Sambo class. We're really truly that's who's our representatives, and they need to go because they're worthless. They don't do anything. They don't do anything for us. They just talk. They have their fish fries and their little plantation jubilees and ski wee and all this kind of stuff. And y'all couldn't do that. Y'all should have had this filed years ago. So they need to go. They need to go, man. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post this template somewhere. I'm gonna post this template. Let me do it right now. So next time, especially when you have family members and you have some of these old Negroes coming up to you and talking about, well, you better vote. If you don't vote, things gonna get bad. Well, they're already bad. And they're gonna get worse. But what they really want you to do is they want to shame you into. I'm gonna put this under lawsuit. Show y'all something here. File upload. How do I get it back in here? All right, so I'm gonna make a copy. All right. I'm gonna type in lawsuit. And I'm gonna move this lawsuit into this area. And I'm gonna make a link. Yeah, I'm gonna make a link so y'all could see this for yourself. I want y'all to actually see this, because obviously what I'm saying is maybe it don't make enough sense. Maybe I'm just up here just blowing steam, but I just don't believe so. I think there's some hideous and some nefarious hands with some bootleg Negroes that need to be checked. And every time they come out and try to sell this BS to us, we need to hit them with the. So if they say, well, you know, whatever excuses they got, it's always going to be some kind of excuse about what they can't do. But they're always throwing their degrees in our damn face. And I think it's sick and demented. So I'm going to upload this, and then I'm going to put a link where y'all could get the federal reparations lawsuit template. Or you could go into Chat GPT, and words matter. It's all about words, you know. So if you're just typing this up, and I'm just giving y'all a concept of what you can do with Chat GPT. Most of y'all have already used it. Some of y'all haven't used it. You could find all kinds of information out. That Frederick McKinley Jones, I found out all of his patents, and I listed it in the last upload I just did. You see what I'm saying? So I want y'all to see this. So next time when you have somebody up there talking about we shouldn't have it, or we shouldn't get it, or whatever little, you know, plantation nigga excuse that they come up with, you can print this out and show them and be like, hey, this is actually from the United States. This is what the United States did and promised. And these are the statutes that it's supposed to live by. Well, man, that ain't gonna happen, and this, that, and the third, but you still need to go down and get some barbecue chicken and go up to have a fish fry. Hand them that paper. Hand them that paper. Don't listen to not a damn sermon. Well, it says right here, nigga, I don't want to hear nothing. Read that. Read that right here. I want to know what you think about this, because it's in black and white. And hand them that reparations lawsuit paper and say, why didn't the people that you want me to go out and wait in the cold or the heat and stand in a long ass line when I could just be getting some money somewhere? I don't want to hear about no scare tactics. I don't want to hear about this, that, and the third. I want to know why the people that you want me to support, why haven't they done this? Because I did it in 30 seconds. Well, you ain't no lawyer. Okay, but I made a draft. AI did it. And see what they got to say. They're going to come up with some excuses real quick. And the first thing they're going to use is religion. That's the first thing they're going to do. That's the first thing. If that don't work, because you start hitting them with some scriptures. Like, okay, you ain't supposed to be a coward, nigga. Well, that's the first thing. They going to hit you with a religious text. And when you open up the religious text and you show them where you ain't supposed to be a coward ass nigga, they going to back that. Well, it's all about interpretation now. That's the first thing they're going to do. Then you're going to convince them to the truth. And then you start showing them the paperwork. Well, you know, I don't know that going to work. That's the second thing. Then they're going to get ashamed. And then they're going to get upset. That's the order. I guarantee you that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm going to upload this and I'm going to post that link in the chat for y'all.